Have you ever formed a life-changing bond with a stranger? The rain came down in sheets, sharp and sudden, as if the sky had been holding its breath all day and finally exhaled. I hadn't brought an umbrella. The weather app had promised only clouds, maybe a sprinkle. But now, with soaked jeans clinging to my legs and my hair dripping into my eyes, I darted toward the nearest shelter, a narrow metal overhang jutting out from a bus stop. There was just enough space for one, maybe two people, and he was already standing there. He looked up as I approached, a faint smile forming, and with a subtle tilt of his shoulder, he made space for me. It was a small act, but in that moment, it felt huge. The shelter was barely 3 feet wide, so our shoulders brushed. I muttered a thank you and he nodded without speaking. Minutes passed in silence. The rain pounded the sidewalk in chaotic rhythm, and traffic slowed to a crawl. We didn't look at each other directly, only occasionally out of the corners of our eyes. I noticed his fingers fidgeting with a silver ring on his right hand. It looked old, worn smooth like it had belonged to someone else first. I shifted, trying to keep my bag dry, and he finally spoke. Looks like it's not stopping anytime soon. I laughed, surprised by the sound of my own voice. None, I picked today to walk of all days. He nodded again. Same here. Funny how it goes. It was a simple exchange, unremarkable in any other context. But that moment under the metal awning, two strangers avoiding puddles and awkward eye contact, felt oddly significant. Like the beginning of something I wouldn't understand until much later. When the bus arrived, I stepped back to let him board first. He paused, one foot on the step, and turned to me. You're numb, I shook my head. I live nearby, he smiled. Maybe I'll see you around? Then he was gone, swallowed into the dim interior of the bus, and I stood there watching the red taillights blur through the rain. I should have walked home then. But I stood under the overhang another minute longer, waiting, though I couldn't have said what for. The next time I saw him, it was almost by accident, or at least that's what I told myself. It was 3 days later, early evening, and I had ducked into a small corner cafe near the park to escape the wind. It was one of those places you never really notice until you need it. Dim lighting, creaky wooden floors, the air heavy with the scent of coffee grounds and cinnamon. I ordered a chai light, then looked around for a seat. That's when I saw him. He was already there, hunched over a book in the far corner, same jacket, same silver ring. His eyes were scanning the page, but his expression was distant, like he wasn't really reading. I hesitated, unsure whether to approach. But then, as if sensing me, he looked up. A small smile tugged at his lips, not surprise, not really even curiosity, but something closer to recognition. I gestured toward the empty chair across from him. Mind if I sit? He closed the book without marking the page. Please. We didn't speak for a while. The silence was comfortable, broken only by the clink of cups and the hiss of the espresso machine behind the counter. We sat in the quiet glow of the window's condensation, blurred light, watching strangers rush by on the sidewalk outside. Eventually, I asked, "What were you reading?" He turned the book so I could see the cover. The unbearable lightness of being. Light reading? I teased, and he chuckled. It felt appropriate, he said. Some days feel like they don't matter at all. Others feel like they matter too much. It was a strange thing to say, but not unwelcome.